Hi there, today I'm going to show you Attive 2.0, which is probably our biggest release yet. Attive 2.0 is expected with a lot of new features, but the first one I want to show you is skills. Skills can be invoked just by hitting slash on your keyboard on the chat, and you just pick one of the skills that pop up here. In this case, I'm going to just use the customer QBR prep. Let's just see what happens when I say that I want to run this skill against the account Johnson Miller. What's going to happen is that Attive will pick that bit of context that's stored in that skill, and it's just going to run the QBR preparation as I've specified in my skill for the Johnson Miller account. That means that you can create these bits of context that are executable for your whole team to use. That's a really good way to streamline your go-to-market activities, right? So making sure that whenever, for example, a rep is preparing for a meeting, they all go from the same baseline. Of course, some senior reps might want to customize and create a different flow, but at the baseline, you're going to have a really good execution already of that activity. So here Attive just gave us the result of the customer QBR. That is looking really good with the key stakeholders, the pipeline status, and a bunch of other insights that I can use to run that QBR, right? So I could, for example, go ahead and just ask Attive to create a slide deck on top of this skill here. About skills. Skills can be executed from the chat. You can also create skills from the chat. You just hit slash and ask to create a skill. For example, whenever you had a really good output from the chat and you want to actually capture that to run again, for example, like could be a pipeline report you just did for your team and you say, okay, this is really good. It gives us a really good overview. That's really good candidate for you to just say, hey, I've created a skill for this. So now you have that stored and you can just repeat that fairly easily. You don't need to store your prompts in. To access your skills, you can just go here on the left. You see all of them that are installed on your workspace here. There are obviously skills that are just yours and there are skills that are part of your workspace. You can also install other skills that were published by people in your workspace. On top of that, we also made a marketplace where we're going to be publishing a lot of things that we saw that works really well across customers. So you can just install it and start using it. Skills are really cool, but they are very much on demand, right? Whenever you need, you run it. But sometimes you actually want to have something that's just run on a schedule that you don't need to come even to Attive. That's just going to be delivered straight up to you. So for that, we create the idea of tasks. You can either create from here just by hitting on new task and selecting how often you want it to run. And you can also select what is the prompt that's going to go into it. You can even use a skill here to actually run that for you. For example, I could run a pipeline health check on a schedule and have that delivered either to a Slack channel, could be your own DM, or could be a shared channel with your team. In this case, I'm just going to ask you to deliver to my email, and I'm going to create this task. You see that now that task has been created, and you can also create tasks from the chat. So let's see here. If you go, for example, on this first chat that I had here, it's again a customer QBR prep, but I could just say, hey, create a scheduled task for this. And then Attive will now just go ahead and guide you through the process of creation. It's gonna probably like ask you a couple questions to make sure it's gonna get the configuration right, such as how often, I'm just gonna say monthly, I want it to be mailed myself, and I just want it to be done for Johnson Miller. That sounds good. And now Attive will just go ahead and create that task for me. Cool, task was created. I can see that both are here now. And now I mentioned before that we have the concept of rules. Rules are what we used to call memories, but now we just call them rules to not confuse with other concepts. Now, rules will be, as memories have been, those small bits of context that just make sure that captures definitions of your business, such as what's your close one definition, what's your stage exit criteria, what do you mean by pipeline, all those things that are not just obvious from your data. You can just capture in rules, and Attive will just invoke them automatically whenever it sees fit for your question. All right, now that you've met skills, tasks, and the renaming of memories into rules, I want to show you a couple other quality of life improvements we've made in Attive. The first one is the ability to run the command palette. You can either open it from here, or you can also type Command K and open it. And it's just a quick way for you to search your recent chats and just navigate around the app. So you can quickly, like for instance, search a chat you just had and jump straight up into it. Or just go back to the home page and then just use your keyboard in that process. It's a very easy way to navigate across the app and take actions. The other thing we did, and this is especially important for the admins of the workspace, is to introduce a graph configuration assistant. Before, we realized that it was very hard to figure out which fields to add and all the manual process of connecting the different nodes. So we create an agent that's still in beta, but it should be able to take most of the actions for you. You just ask what you need, and the agent will just go ahead and create it. Let's try. Just gonna ask, how can we optimize this graph? All right, so you just had a look at my graph, and it came up with a couple of opportunities here that we could do. Quick wins, we're missing event contact relationship. So actually just ask it to add that one for us. So now we have a relationship that goes across event and contact for us right here. you can actually review the changes. And if you're happy with that, then you can just publish. And that's going to be fairly soon ready for you to ask questions about directly in the chat. Now, another thing that we made that's actually very special for the people that are monitoring the workspace and make sure that it's running with the best quality possible is the new stats page. Now we are categorizing all the chats that your organization is having and just giving you a clear overview. What are the most used categories, such as in this example, for instance, where you have in this workspace here, account and deal preparation are the top ones. Market and competitive intel comes after, and then after that is product and voice of customers. By understanding the different use cases that are happening in your workspace, and that allows you to actually improve, Attive, and optimize for those workflows, right? Those could be perhaps by adding more documentation about your product. Could be about adding marketing collaterals that would help the marketing developer better their competitive tasks, for instance. All of those things should be ready for you, and you can just explore, see how it has changed month over month, and get a feel for how actually Attive is helping you improve the quality of your go-to-market activities. Well, beyond all of that, Attive 2.0, it's full of new things that you're going to find as you play around the app. And it's fully redesigned with a new brand look. And I'm really excited to hear what are your thoughts once you start experimenting with it.